But something else people love is fucking WestWorld. And WestWorld got cut short. Now apparently it's coming back as a feature film. And that leads me to our feature story of the night. All right, everybody. I want to talk about WestWorld a little bit because I fucking love me some WestWorld. So WestWorld didn't get it season 5. Didn't get it season 5. But when I first started working on WestWorld season 1, they said we're gonna do 5 seasons. It was a whole thing. It was early on. HBO didn't want to say it, and they were like, we're not gonna say it out loud. But you know what? Overall, it was happening. And so we talked about it. I worked for James Marsden. James Marsden's a fucking man. He's a great person. He's so awesome. And so I doubled for him. I stood in for him. If you see Dead Teddy, that's Brian Cruz. That's me right now. But so working on WestWorld, they told me season 1, we're doing 5 seasons. They did 4, they got canceled. They're like, well, what's going to happen now? Well, apparently there's a 5th season happening. Well, in a movie form, maybe I'm putting it out there because HBO said we're doing a WestWorld movie. It might be a continuation of the show or it might be a reboot. They haven't officially announced beyond that. All they said is a WestWorld movie is coming. And to me, that makes me think it's probably going to fall in the line of Deadwood. You know, they did Deadwood before and then they rebooted it. Well, they didn't reboot it. They continue it via movie. I think that's the same thing that's happened with WestWorld. Of course, they had a plan for a 5th season. They canceled it. They changed the guards with Zaslav coming in because he's like, well, we're going to cut all the budgets on X, Y, and Z because we're fucking going broke. They bought it at a loss. They also were writing shit off because like Batgirl and then trying to figure out ways to make money back. So I think WestWorld fell into that world, but I also think that a reboot makes sense if you have Jonah coming back, you know, Jonathan Nolan, you have Lisa Joy coming in. It makes sense. Like do a continuation, finish the show as a movie and then leave it be at that point. Like, do you really reboot it? I don't know, but that's the idea. No one knows yet at this point. This is very early on. Pepe's very angry about this. Very like how angry Pepe is. Very angry. Very angry. And so like we don't know where it's going, but I think it's gonna be a continuation. I think that's just the route to go if you're gonna do this. I love WestWorld. There's a lot of memories here because again, like I said, I worked on it. And so for me, like I fucking love that whole world. The crew, the cast were amazing. And I think that's where the route they're gonna go. On the show? I never got naked, Chris.
You have to.
That was my worry. That was my worry. That was my worry. Allegedly, I never got naked, Chris.
I have to. Okay.
No, I worried, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I worried because when I'm gonna tell you before we get into it, my first day of production, I went there and I was standing in for James Marsden. I also was doubling for him, and then some guy got injured. And when he got injured, they asked me to fucking jump in, and so I jumped in, and I was filling in for a tech, and I saw a penis in front of my face. It happened. That's not normal on set, but it happened that day. And the guy's like, I got paid my rent money this day. That's great. I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't know why I'm here. What the fuck is happening with me?
Because it's time to pay the rent.
He whipped it out and he fucking got paid. He got paid $1,200 to pay his rent, he said. So I got paid. He whipped it out and got paid. So that's WestWorld. They got shut down because of this shit before. It was a whole thing. But WestWorld is coming back.
In real life.
Yeah, Yul Brynner. There's a whole thing. That was a movie before. They rebooted it. Jonathan, no, I'm gonna call him Jonah because he's fucking goes by Jonah. It's like you look at Christopher Nolan, you look Jonathan Nolan next to each other, like fucking like America and UK next to each other because Jonah is so Americanized. It looks like he's like flipping patties in the weekend on a grill, but you know, whatever. But I'll tell you, so WestWorld's coming as a reboot. Chris, yeah, right?
Yeah,
but WestWorld's coming. They're doing a movie. I think it's going to be, they haven't said, but I think it'll probably be a continuation of the series because honestly, like, why would you not do that? So let's talk about it. Sabrina, do you think that WestWorld should continue as a series or should they actually reboot the whole thing and start over from scratch and let it be and like make a new thing?
Well, they already started from scratch and made a new thing, and it was called WestWorld, the TV show on HBO. So I don't need a third reboot. Thank you. Gonna hard pass on that. I did like the show. I watched all the seasons, and it did progressively like get worse, I guess. Or I don't know. I don't know why they moved it into the city, and like it just became a little bit convoluted for me. But I will say this: I'm the type. Hi, baby. What's up? Hey, girl. I will say that I do really want to. They found Tandy Newton. She was my favorite maid.
I love Tandy Newton. She's so good.
I want to know what happened. They're gonna reboot her. Is she coming back? Like, I mean, if it is a movie that is a continuation of the show, which by the way should have just renewed the fucking show. Like, I don't know what you're doing. It's like not even that long ago that it happened.
Zaslav came in though.
Seems really stupid to me personally. I don't know. I really don't. But if they are truly doing a Westworld movie, I would really hope that it is a continuation so that the people who like the show and watch the show could get an ending. The first season of the show was great, but it's my favorite season. And it just, I don't know, it kind of.
When did it end? Can I ask?
Like
last year.
Was it 2 years ago? It was last year?
Last year, yeah.
Well, so that even again, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's like they planned on, like I said before, like I worked in the show season 1 and they talked about how it wasn't announced, but they said we're doing 5 seasons. And that was a whole thing.
Quick question though, like Razor X, like when you're saying they should do something new, do you mean like for Westworld specifically, or they should just do like a new concept, which is novel in Hollywood these days? And I really would appreciate that. It's just like if you're gonna reboot Westworld again, like so soon after the show, like what's the why? Just either continue the show or don't do it, in my personal opinion. But I want clarification on your comment. Yeah, Zaslav was canceling everything, but he also is still running the station. They're still going to be the one that's going to make the movie. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's very confusing to me, honestly.
And that's where I say, like, I knew, like, when I heard it was canceled, because they set it up for season 5. And, like, I remember when I worked in the first 2 seasons. And then the 3rd season, James Marsden, spoiler alert, got killed off, so he wasn't really there. I was also working for other actors, but James wasn't there, so my main bread and butter, so he was gone, and then he came back slightly for season 4, and I didn't come back. I mean, time passes. It's just a long time in between productions. ADs change, productions change, all that, But like when season 4 came out, and then I was like, oh, they're for sure doing a season 5. I knew because season 1 they got shut down because of the sexual acts during the whole. There was a whole brothel scene. They got shut down. SAG shut them down. It was a whole thing where they hired porn stars.
Did peepees into vaginas.
Yeah, they had, because they hired porn stars, Chris. They hired porn stars for that. And the porn stars were fucking the regular people on camera. The PAs were walking around with flashlights. The PAs were walking around with flashlights, making sure people weren't fucking on set. And that was a problem. You know what I mean? So the production shut down. SAG-AFTRA shut the production down because there were porn stars fucking the background on set. It was a whole thing, season 1.
We're getting $900 for.
I thought it was for the naked people. I didn't know it was for porn.
It was the porn stars were fucking the background. It was a whole thing.
We're going like this.
They're P and the V. It was P and the V. And that's not good when you're shooting a professional set. And of course, they wanted to be realistic. I get that, but you can't.
The whole intimacy coordinator thing, like
I didn't see this.
100%, Mike. Yeah. Way before that. I shut the production down, went down for like 3 or 4 months. That's when I came in and I heard all about this. I'm like, oh my God, that was happening? And it was a whole thing. And then I came in for James and it changed and they fucking adapted and SAG got involved. Racer X, I'm sorry you missed that shit. There's a lot of fucking P and the V at that point. Hashtag friends of the show.
Ryan, people weren't told that they had to be nude too. Well,
no,
and
that was the thing too. There was
you know what you say as a human?
You say, I'm not gonna do it.
Well, no.
Right, here comes your answer. Well, when they said no, Central fired them.
There was also a thing that was happening where the background were signing, they gave background contracts. And a lot of times when you go into a show, they give you a NDA. And you would sign it, whatever. That's what they said it was. So they signed the NDA. But in that NDA, it said you were comfortable doing, I'm not going to lie this. God, it's hard to say.
Don't lie.
Genital to mouth. Genital to mouth. Mouth to genital, face to face.
Casting?
Yes, on central casting. That was their contract. Genital to mouth, mouth to genital, mouth to mouth simulations. That's what it said. And so the people didn't know they signed the contracts and they got to set. And they're like, so you're going down this person's going down on you. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, no, you signed a contract saying you're comfortable with
people.
Read your contract. That was a whole thing that happened with Westworld. And so when that happened, they shut the production down. It was all part of it. Ryan, you're right, 100%. It's all part of it. That was before I joined the production. And it was a whole thing. SAG shut it down.
That was pre-Brian.
Because everybody started calling and be like, this is bullshit. Like, this is not real. I should be getting paid more for this. It was a whole thing. They got shut down.
Wanted to be there. Racer.
He was like, porn stars, I'm in. Good
Get
for
in
you,
there,
bud.
Racer. Get in that shit. Fucking square root that some bitch and like it all day. But I'm just saying, that's what it was. But now we've gone 4 seasons. It got shut down. Season 1, they wanted 5 seasons. When it ended, it made it sense that they were going to go on 1 more season. It made sense for a finale, and it got canceled. So I think, realistically, as a person that worked on it, person that looks at the news all the time, and a person who's very involved, I think that they're going to do a movie. I don't think it's going to be a reboot. I think it'll be a movie. Finalize it. Maybe they'll do 2 movies. It makes more sense for production company. They'll spend $10 million on this, $20 million on this, as opposed to for a whole season, get a movie, make more money. It'll make more sense in the long end. Mike, what do you think? Do you think they should do a Westworld movie?
Though. Great money. Oh, Ryan,
that's great money.
Please, Jesus Christ.
We'll get to you for a second, Chris.
That's true.
Mike, what do you think? Mike, do you think that Westworld should come back as a finale movie, or do you think that they should actually reboot the whole thing and start over in theatrical form?
I would be astonished if I was just popping on set, regular, thinking I'm getting a regular day at doing background, and all of a sudden I'm being penetrating Ron Jeremy, and they're like, then they're telling me, oh, it's in your contract, buddy.
It's in the contract.
That's normal, right?
$1,200 for $1,200. That's you can't.
$1,200 for 8, Mike.
Nothing to shake a stick at.
What? $1,200 for 8.
200 for 8?
For 8.
For 8. No, 1,200 for 8 hours.
No. That's
let's get into time and a half and double time, baby. That's real Ron Jeremy money.
Yeah. Okay. The only thing I actually wonder is, are we going to get a whole new world? What they had WestWorld. They had Samurai World. Like, are we doing Super Mario World? Like, we're running out of things.
I hope so.
Do we know what the
Super Mario World?
I don't know. Maybe I have a lack of imagination, Sabrina. But future, they can't do Future World. Like, it's already Future World, and they've done different varieties of that.
They kind of did it already, though.
They can't do like normal world. They can't send you to frickin'
Mars,
Missouri, or Mars. Maybe outer space world. Maybe they could do that.
Mars world.
I don't know. That's the only real interest. I gave up on it after season 2 as well. I couldn't handle it anymore.
So you watched 2 seasons. You didn't watch 3 or 4, Mike, huh?
Nope. Gave up on it.
A lot of people did, Mike, and that's what happened. It's like people were like, "Oh, well, this is not the same show we wanted." People were like, lost themselves in it, and I loved it. Like I said, I watched the first 2 seasons, and I thought it was great. But then, like, season 2 even was going down a rabbit hole, and Jonah and Lisa Joy are such fucking amazing people. They had that Peripheral show. They're so nice. I felt bad for them a little bit, but like it went down the rabbit hole a little bit. And I think for the fans, though, Mike, do you think this will be a continuation overall? Do you think it'll be a continuation or a reboot? What do you think?
I don't know, because it would be so easy. Just in terms of what the property is, it makes sense conceptually to reevaluate it, because our own approach to technology is like changing so fast. Our environment is so different all the time. So it would make sense to re-up it. But just in terms of the time frame, we're too close. I think we'll see some familiar faces back and involved.
Yeah, I think so too, Mike. I feel in the same way. I feel like they're gonna use the people they had before, fucking, make the fan base happy, finish it up, because they did it with Deadpool before with HBO. They've done it before. Give them the finale, and then wrap it all up, right? Sabrina, what do you think? Do you think that's where they're going to go, or do you think they'll actually reboot the whole series?
Well, again, I answered that question already. But
did I already go to you? I'm drunk.
Sure, yeah, I see that.
Let's go back. Let's go back and drink then. Everybody drink. Everybody drink.
Not Brian, but everyone else have a drink. Chris, fill up the chair.
Well, it's Chris.
That's it. We're done.
I've been drinking a little bit tonight, everybody. I think my Jack Daniels is like a level 5.
Yeah, grab the bottle. Grab the bottle, Brian. You're in good company over there.
God.
There's been apparently a lot of
Racer X, the salon, like the saloon girls, like fucking Tanny Newton. Friend of the show, Tanny Newton's fucking amazing. I love her so much. She was so nice.
Get her
and
out.
I love her. Brian's a little smash tonight, Rachel. You're right. I love to have Tanny Newton. I'll reach out to her people.
Yeah. Get her on cruise
Hello,
control.
darling.
I want to make a light. Oh, she's so great. I want to make a light. That just made me excited. She was so good. That's why I want to see something else, because literally the last scene of the last season, which, by the way, I agree, was shit. They found her. She was like the thing they were looking for. They found her. They found the robot body. And I'm like, oh, I would just love to see her kick some more ass. She's so epic. But Ryan, Bud, you worked for Central. Why didn't you get in there and flash your shit around a couple of times?
Flash that shit, wobble it all around.
You seem like you're real into this situation. So I don't know why you didn't.
Mike's like, you guys are ridiculous.
I don't know why you didn't get in there. You had the opportunity.
Give it a flap it around. I mean, if you're feeling it,
flap
go for
it around.
Flappy is good.
He seems like he's very regretful for not flapping it around.
Panico way.
Oh my God, no queen.
You're gonna go to me.
I hope not.
No, Panico way.
It will.
Have you watched Westworld, Panico way?
Wait. I watched the first season.
Do you think they should continue that, or should they reboot the whole thing?
I could give a fuck.
You give a fuck at all? You not like it at all?
Chris is busy watching Big Brother. He doesn't have time for this.
What's wrong with Big
So
Brother?
Chris is
nothing. I'm just saying this is not your type of show.
I wouldn't go. No, I wouldn't watch it. No, I wouldn't watch it. That's not my type of show.
Ryan had a girlfriend. If Ryan didn't have a girlfriend at the time, he'd have been in there banging bitches all day.
Or men.
But Chris, think about this. You have a big franchise like this. You wouldn't want to reboot it as a studio?
What's going on with it?
Yeah, they'll make money. They're trying to make money. Go ahead. Yeah.
But it's HBO. It's the same people who canceled it that are redoing the movie. That's why it's so confusing to me.
Yeah. Well, because the TV routes now, right, Sabrina? For them, they're looking at their money numbers. But again, this is what I think. It falls into the same thing as Bob Iger. Bob Iger is saying the same thing as Zaslav. We make more money in movies, less in TV. Let's take theatrical. Let's go that route. We'll actually make our money back faster, quicker, fucking harder, stronger, faster. Harder, faster, stronger, bigger, harder, faster, stronger, faster.
Never mind, you know what I mean? That is an impression, though. Everyone else should drink.
You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck the Daft Punk song is.
Not you. No. You've had enough.
And I think for them, that's what they think. We'll make it faster, bigger, harder, stronger. And that's what they're going off of, as opposed to TV, which TV is very fickle. It's very we have no idea. It's a Wild West compared to not that cold.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Compared to movies. And I think that for Westworld, it started as a movie. Let's go movie, right, Chris? Let's go movie. Let's take our fan base to the movie theater and make them very happy at the end of the day. And I think it's going to go movie. It makes more sense.
So, Brian, what you're saying is basically that, instead of doing a whole nother season of,
Westworld.
10 hours, just do a movie of 2 hours and kind of wrap it up in a nice little bow, as Sean likes to say.
Yes, I think that's what it'll be. I think that makes sense, and I think that announcement will come very soon. I think the idea of a reboot is bullshit. I don't think I'll get a reboot. I think they'll give them a wrap up, call it a day like they did for Deadwood.
I just feel like it's too soon for reboots.
But they had an idea for season 5.
To commit to the craft. You're right.
How fast can you wrap it up in 2 hours? Honestly, 2 hours is an hour an episode normally.
You know what? I'm rethinking the whole thing. I'm rethinking the whole thing. I should have done it. I should have taken the robe that they gave people and then just whipped it out and
wrap it before you tap it, Rachel says.
Wrap it.
Everybody, we love you so much for being here.
Look at that.
I think we've gone off the rails, folks. I think we're wrapping up at this point.
You think so?
I'm just saying.
We have.
as a series, like if you're taking Westworld, I mean, honestly, you did 4 seasons. You had an idea for 5 seasons. Take that shit, wrap it up in a movie, finish it off as a studio. If you think, because they were spending, I'm not gonna lie to you, they were spending like $10 million an episode, like $10 million an episode. That's a lot of fucking money an episode. So when you break it down, 120 million for a fucking series, you might as well make it a movie, wrap it up in 80 to 100 million, finish it up, give the fans what they want, and then finish the series in one movie as opposed to doing a series.